The league has jurisdiction over the things that happen on game days. The teams have jurisdiction over the things that players and non-players may do while off duty. And we spent a lot of time talking about the negotiations between the league and the union that resulted in a list of things that players can't do when they're away from work. And that prompted the criticism of the incident that occurred on Monday night when a bunch of Raider players went to an event in an indoor setting where there were no masks in sight. It was stupid. The optics were poor. The decisions were poor. Everything about it was poor. 3 weeks into the season, with the quarterback of the team there, the one person in the locker room who should know better, the guy who's got an incentive to the tune of over $1.1 million a week in the event that games are canceled. Because remember, the agreement was the players get paid based on the games that are played. Carr is going to lose more money than anyone else on that team if the Raiders have an outbreak that keeps them from playing games. Here is Jon Gruden from yesterday with his thoughts on the unfortunate videos that you're watching now that emerged on Tuesday of players in a place where they shouldn't have been on Monday night.
Let me say this. We've done a good job. We've done an excellent job. Last night, it was addressed with our players. They walked in with their masks on. There was an event. Sometimes you go to a restaurant, you take your mask off. They're aware of their mistake. But we've done an excellent job using our masks and taking proper care of each other and everybody. I'm really proud of our players. And by the way, that was a great cause no one's talked about. He raised over $300,000 for a great, great cause. I appreciate our players being there in support of him. But you're right. They may have let their dauber down a little bit by taking their mask off during the event. But it's been addressed, and that's the best I can tell you.
All right, 3 things real quickly. Number 1, taking the masks off was stupid in and of itself. Because number 2, they shouldn't have even been there. That's the thing that your guy Jon Gruden didn't address. It violates local ordinances.
Right.
There's too many people in a confined space. It doesn't matter if you have your mask on or not. You shouldn't have been there. And here's number 3, because this is the justification. We're going to hear it coming up from Derek Carr as well, that, well, it was a great cause. Well, you know what, folks? In a pandemic, there are plenty of great causes that can't have fundraising events. You can't just say, well, we're going to ignore the rules of the pandemic because it's for a good cause. Good cause, bad cause. I mean, we're trying to keep businesses open. That's a good cause. We can't. The businesses have to be closed in certain jurisdictions because of the outbreak. So don't give me this false notion that, well, it was a great cause, and let's not lose sight of that. Look, other charities have to find other ways to raise money in a pandemic. You don't just say, well, it's a good cause, so we're going to do something stupid that's going to potentially get people dead. Chris.
Is it a great cause if somebody ends up leaving there with COVID-19 and causes somebody to die somewhere else in that
Exactly.
state, right? Is that $300,000 worth somebody's life? I don't know. I mean, life seems to be going for a very low price here in this country right now, so maybe it is. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, that's where it's a little listen, like we said from the start, and I've always said this, and you know this, players don't give a damn about COVID-19. They're young. They're healthy. This is just more of, here's more evidence to show that. Now, they as a Raider, I know they love their quarterback, Derek Carr. From everything I've ever heard from the start of training camp and things like that, like the offense is very close together. They're very supportive of each other. It sounds like they were there as almost a full unit at that thing. But, again, like what you're saying, first off, it's state and local ordinance. It's a bad look for leadership in our country right now, just where we are. And then, of course, it's risky not just for the whole NFL. That's where it's just a little careless. I mean, that's really what it is. And it's an IQ test a little bit to go to a place like that and think, oh, I'll get away with this and nobody will ever find out. To me, that's where I can't believe that. And the other thing I just don't understand too, and I need you to explain this to me. So they can't find these, so you can fine a coach $100,000 for having a mask down on the sideline in one of the safest environments in our world right now, but they can't find players for going out to an event like that that's illegal and doing things like that right now? That's what's the deal with that, Mike?
The league can't.
Yeah.
The teams can, but the team's not required to do it for players. The team is required to do it for non-players.
Wow.
The team's not required to do it for players. So when your star quarterback's there, or the guy that you're paying like a star quarterback is there, what are you going to do? You're going to suspend him? No, you're going to hurt your own interest. See, I think these rules were all put in place with the idea of the guys at the bottom of the roster in mind. because they just assumed that the guys who were making the most money, who were in the most high-profile positions, wouldn't do something that stupid. And speaking of guys doing something stupid, and Chris, we've had a long first segment here, and we've got a long clip of Derek Carr. I'm going to give you the emperor privilege. Remember how they used to do, like in Gladiator?
Oh, right.
I'm going to let you do the up or down. You give me the up or down on whether or not we listen to Derek Carr.
Oh,
because I'm inclined not to listen to the guy. You tell me.
Well, I'm giving.
Are we going to listen to his
thumbs up? Yeah, I'm going thumbs up. He lives. Okay, he lives.
All right.
Yep.
This is the only context in which you'll ever hear from Derek Carr on this program because he'll never come on, and by the way, he'll never be invited. Here's Derek Carr, 2 minutes.
Damn.
I feel like, one, we've done a fantastic job around here, and I hate that a few moments without our masks on led to a story about our team and all this kind of stuff, and especially after, the fines that were, brought on a couple weeks ago. And so we felt terrible about that. We addressed it. We talked with Coach, and we talked with our trainers, about what really went down and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we were there. I mean, shoot, guys, I have to have, dinners and dates with my wife at my house. I haven't taken her out to eat all season, and that's a lot of kids running around my house. I think she's ready for a date. And so we've been doing our very best. And we had a few moments where we slipped up, took the mask off so people could see our face and things like that. We signed waivers, hand sanitizer like crazy, all this kind of stuff. We tried our best even at the event with everything. And we weren't perfect, but we were trying our best. We weren't trying to be careless or reckless. But at the same time, Darren Waller had an event for something that meant a lot to him, and they raised so much money that you won't even begin to imagine how much money they raised to help other people that struggle with addiction, to get them in the right places and things like that. My hope and my prayer is that a few moments of us messing up, a few minutes here where we were seen on camera, not in the private room, in the separate room for an hour, and things like that. I hope that we don't lose what was really going on there, because Darren had a great idea. He had a great plan. He wants to help people, and I hope that we can just more so move the conversation that way. Again, we've addressed it in-house. We admit, we should have kept the mask on, even if we are coming and they're introducing us and things like that. But at the end of the day, I hope that the story is more about what Darren was able to accomplish and all those kind of things. So.
Okay, where are the videos and the photos of these guys with their masks on? Why is it this strange coincidence that the only thing that we saw – are there videos out there of Derek Carr with his mask on? They act like they just had this momentary lapse. What a coincidence that that's the only point where someone was filming them. And here's the thing. What do we talk about? When you got your mask on and you take it off for a little bit, you still see it. I don't see a mask on Derek Carr.
Nobody has a mask on. Anybody in the crowd. There's nobody there that has a mask on. That's, again, it's just careless. It's just, to me, that's where it is. It's careless. You're jeopardizing things for your team, the league, other people that work around the league, TV people, all of it. That's where it's just a little selfish to me. I know Derek Carr's a good person. I know that. I really do. I mean, I've been around him a few times.
I'm not saying he's a comic book villain.
I know.
It's just stupid.
I'm just saying. I know exactly right. Their heart's in the right place, but they let their heart lead them sometimes as football players who can be like, myself included, a big dumb animal at times. That's the way football players are. Oh, okay, friend, you got to do something. I'll be there to support you, friend. I play football with you. That's how we think sometimes. And this is one of those times where you can't go with your heart in that way. You got to use your brain a little bit more because of what's going on in the world. And, of course, now they're talking about it and having to deal with it. And, that's the issue.
And let's end it on this point, because the best evidence that the brain wasn't properly functioning inside the cranium of Derek Carr is this. The idea that we signed waivers makes it okay. Well, the waiver isn't going to protect you from getting the virus. And if nothing else, that moment where you had to put pen to paper to sign away your legal rights, that was your last chance to realize, you know what? I probably shouldn't be here. This probably is something I shouldn't be doing. If I'm engaging in activities that require the person hosting the activity to force me to sign a waiver, this probably falls in the category of things that Coach told us we shouldn't be doing if we want to play the full football season. And again, this guy's got over 1.1 million riding on each game that's played. They have an outbreak. They miss a game. They don't play 16 games. He doesn't get $1.1 million, folks. And I don't care about anything he said to justify it. It's stupid. It's selfish. And I thought that kind of behavior was going to be coming from the guys on the bottom of the roster who just got into the league, not the quarterback. And if you don't take action, what's the message, Chris, to the rest of the locker room? What's the message to the other 31 teams?
I agree.
There's no concept.
I know.
We're gonna let you have at least one mistake. So you got that going for you. We'll worry about the second mistake when it happens.
Yeah.
But we're gonna look the other way on the first mistake.
No, that's why I'm surprised. I'm surprised about how this was laid out. Just what you explained to me earlier, that the team is really in charge here, and the NFL has no jurisdiction over this matter when it comes to that. That's very surprising to me in this, where we know it's about guys being self-disciplined. That's what it's all about this year. And that's part of winning the championship, is you're going to have to be self-disciplined on and off the field all year long if you want to be there at the end. And we're seeing some teams where, few cracks here and there. What's that mean? I don't know. We got a long season left. And we just got done with 3 weeks, and we got one team that's got an outbreak and another team that already seems to have let their guard down and think life's fine and we're going to go back to normal.
At Tuesday morning, it felt like it was all a non-issue, and we're going to sail right through all 17 weeks.
Right.
And in the 48 hours since then, it's like, well, you know what? This really is a flip of the coin, maybe at best, as to whether or not there's going to be an interruption of the schedule.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.